The hot African sun beat down on the small village of Kakamega. Nekesa, a 19-year-old girl, walked barefoot on the dusty road. She wore a bright orange kitenge dress, traditional for her tribe, with intricate patterns of yellow and black. Her dark, braided hair framed her face, and her eyes were filled with sadness and determination. Her village was surrounded by vast green fields of maize, tall trees, and the distant sound of the river flowing gently. The simple thatched roof houses dotted the land, goats bleating in the background, and birds chirping in the trees. Life seemed peaceful, but not for Nekesa. In her small home, her mother Nasimiyu was suffering. For years, Nasimiyu had been abused by Nekesa's father, Waswa. He was a strong man, tall and broad-shouldered, his voice booming and his temper violent. He often came home drunk, using harsh words and sometimes even his fist on Nasimiyu. Nekesa could no longer watch her mother in pain. Nekesa took a deep breath. "You are a coward, Baba," she said, her voice firm now. "You think you are strong because you hurt us. But strength is in love, not in fear." Waswa's face twisted in rage. He moved towards Nekesa, his hand raised. But this time, Nekesa didn't back down. She stood tall, her eyes locked with his. She was no longer the little girl afraid of her father's temper. "Hit me if you want," Nekesa said, "but you will never break me, and you will never hurt Mama again." Waswa hesitated, his hand frozen in the air. The power of her words shocked him. For the first time, Nekesa saw something in his eyes: doubt, fear, maybe even shame. Nasimiyu crawled to Nekesa's side, holding her daughter's hand. "She's right, Waswa," Nasimiyu said softly, her voice trembling. "I've been scared of you for too long. But no more. If you ever touch me again, I will leave you." There was a long silence in the room, broken only by the crackling fire. Waswa dropped his hand. He staggered back, looking defeated. "You think you're strong now," he muttered, but his voice was weaker than before. "You both are nothing without me." Nekesa stepped forward, her chin high. "We are stronger without you," she said. "If you don't change, you will lose everything." Waswa turned and stormed out of the house, leaving the door swinging behind him. Nekesa collapsed into her mother's arms, both of them crying, not from sadness but from relief. The next morning, the village was quiet, except for the chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves in the wind. Nekesa and her mother sat outside their small house, watching the sunrise over the fields. Nasimiyu wore a new dress, one that Nekesa had sewn for her from a colorful kitenge fabric. The bruises on her face were still visible, but her spirit seemed lighter. Nekesa had done something she never thought possible. She had faced her father, and though it wasn't over yet, she felt a glimmer of hope. "We will be okay, Mama," Nekesa said softly, holding her mother's hand. Nasimiyu smiled, a tear rolling down her cheek. "Yes, we will, my child. You have given me strength I never knew I had." As the sun rose higher in the sky, they knew they had a long road ahead. But for the first time in a long time, they felt free.